Better add myself to the stage, I guess. Why aren't I big? There, now I'm big. Let's do something. Oh, don't you hate it when you leave the YouTube stream going? Good afternoon. Yes, new song. 50 bonus clout points for anyone who can name the artist. Anybody at all? Used to play, plays guitar, obviously, slide guitar. Did a lot of work with Jackson Brown. Done a lot of backup stuff. Anybody at all? David Lindley. Yeah. Never mind. So how are we going, peeps? Bit bored today. NTF cut her live off, which was disappointing because I was feeling in an argumentative mood and was venting a little bit. which was kind of fun in chat, but that sort of died. So here we are. There is one thing that I'd sort of want to play a bit later on, which has been sort of keeps popping up that I'd like to address. Let's go. Shall we just go through and do the welcoming thing? Southwest Guild, good to see you. Crystal, hi. Harvey. Junie. Okay, we've got Junie and we've got NTF in the same chat, so hopefully we won't have a collision. CCO, how are you? How's that cell treating you? Young Matt. I'm surprised Jeff's security team haven't cornered you and taken you out yet, mate. Jersey, how are you? Lady J, nice to see you, as always. I hope I'm not skipping anyone here. I'm going a bit quickly. Jen C, Tonya D, hello. NTF, did you get permission? Well, I sort of got a time frame to go in, and here we are. Moments, how are you? Jumping, repeat. Donovan, nice to see you. Well, interesting night last night with FCC's panel. Shame it's been taken down. Thankfully, I've got a link so I can listen to the start of it because I missed the start of it. I was sort of just present for the crash bit. As Melinda, how are you? As JT got drunker and drunker. It's been a while since JT's been on a panel and done his Nanya rants. So that was quite entertaining. Ray got a bit of a hammering, which was kind of maybe a bit unfair, but it was sort of fun. Always is a bit fun. If you're an asshole. And Damone too, up there. Who else was up there? Someone else came up. NTF popped up for a little bit, but I don't think he said anything. G'day thee and Bat Mom and Dr. Jeff. If Dr. Jeff's got any relevant new things for us to chase down like we had to last time. We chased down the Lizzie thing was the pressing thing on his mind last time, and that turned out to be a big fat nothing, didn't it, in the end? Did we get any feedback on that, Dr. Jeff? Did she go to the police after you were all so concerned and made it everyone's affair? It was good content, though, for a couple of days, got to say that. You guys were at FCC's last night. I was banging Larp's wipe. Okay. Nice. Guess it's your turn. God, I'm trying to read chat. I can't do this. CCC. Hi, love. Good to see you. Are we sure Lizzie isn't being held in Cam's van? Good question. Do you think he's going to use that for giving, what do you call them, sweets, candy away from his van? Dr. Jeff, you might want to get onto that and investigate it. Fonzie, how do you feel about FCC openly doxing people on his stream last night? I missed that bit. Mustn't have been listening when that happened. Fonzie, who did he dox? Because actually I did, because I went over to, I listened to Nanya, because Nanya took the advantage of obviously there was a stream there, so she could, and it was JT was going at her, so she fired up a live and turned it into a poor me stream to extract as much as she could out of the victimhood angle of it. And I heard FCC actually say her name, and then she, strangely enough, played that on her channel as well as he repeated it. So she repeated him saying her name. But I'm confused by these rules, because isn't it like after you've been doxxed numerous times, or you've been doxxed once, then you've been doxxed, haven't you? And she's been doxxed numerous times. I mean, that's according to their rules. You won't find me using her name publicly. He doxed Nunya and Ryan Couture. How can you dox Ryan? He uses his fucking name. Interesting. But yeah, Fonzie, isn't something that you'll find me doing. I won't use someone's name. Hello, Stephanie. 6-hour drive. Jeez. 6-hour drive. I can remember when we used to drive, or in the country in Western Australia, and this is only through visiting there, but they used to say, oh, it's a 6-can drive, the amount of beers they would drive in the time that it took them to get to a place. Fucking wild culture. That was a long time ago, thankfully. Doesn't happen anymore, but yeah. Fucking, can you imagine them talking about the distance in the number of cans of beer you can drink in the time that you drive it? Fucking unbelievable. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, so FCC stream was I don't know, did get a bit bloody negative, I must admit. It was a bit persecutory, which was kind of not nice, but I think some of that stuff needed to be said. And JT was hammering Nunya and going at Ray for why Ray was still friends with Nunya, and we sort of all got into that and we said, well, you know, how can you know, you don't see what this person does anymore. And yes, she can be personal, but you know, it was just kind of interesting angles. And there was, yeah, JT was getting pretty drunk in there, and I think he needs to have that. You know, he's obviously got some problems with. I'd say, you know, he needs to, if he hasn't already, get some diabetes meds, because he was going to the toilet a lot. So let's see. I'm going to use. I'm going to scam through chat and use it as a bit of a cheat for today. Christy, what are you doing here? I'm not speaking to you. Ray was mad but wouldn't leave. No, he wasn't. He just sat there complaining about how bad it was. Weed Whacker. Why is Colfax still talking about Tommy despite having a restraining order? Did he talk about Tommy? I don't know whether you're a restraining order, you're still allowed to discuss them. You're not allowed to talk to them or go within a certain distance of them, but I don't know whether talking about them is included in that. You'd probably want to ask his lawyer, Sam Clinton, about that, Weed Whacker. Colfax is going to mess around and go to jail. Yeah, I think Tommy's more likely to go to jail, Weed Whacker, wouldn't you think? The one who abuses kids and punches people in the head and gets charged and convicted of assault and all of his other convictions that he's got. I think it's probably more likely that he goes to jail, if I was going to put money on it. This clicker, yeah, I hate using these bloody clickers on computers. My mouse battery's flat. Restraining order doesn't restrict your free speech. If you weren't a dumbass, you would know that. Well, there you go. Didn't want to comment on American law. There you go, Weed Whacker. I suspect Weed Whacker is one of... oh, here we go. There's a bit of a legal battle going on here. That was one of the terms in the restraining order. Okay. This must be... Weed Whacker, I suspect, is one of Tommy's simpy mods. Don't know which one. Actually, it's been noticed that they haven't been around so much in Nunya's chat. I was just wondering whether they were a bit scared of Tommy seeing them in there these days. I say there was a few of them over in Mitch's the other day. Fucking that's gone downhill, hasn't it? Mitch's channel. No, I think someone's sulky. Someone's pissed at me, I think. Yeah, that's it, Tommy. I mean, Tommy, fucking hell. What's he going to do? Is he going to take JT to court for talking about him on YouTube? Then the whole terms and conditions of the restraining order might get looked at in more detail with another visit, and I don't think that would be in Tommy's best interests. These two are getting at each other here. No, retard. A restraining order means you can't go near him, dumbass. Why did Colfax stop talking about Tommy when Ray told him about the restraining order? Don't know. Maybe he thought that it was probably a wise thing to do. Who knows? I missed that bit. Crispy, crusty, Christy. Red on the Outlaws. K Schwizzle. Yeah, K Schwizzle. I think we're all a bit bored sitting here waiting for Jeff to drop the podcasts. I remember that time when I went up and I was asking about it in a stream where he was not drinking but drunk, and he said that it was going to be March. Well, it must have been, I guess, January, February. I was talking to him, and it was being edited, put together. I mean, how long does it take to fucking edit a conversation? I've got no idea, but his editor was very, very busy. Obviously, a very talented editor, and maybe a bit slow, but certainly talented. And then he assured that it was April. April would be okay, if April. So this is it. It's got to come out. The first one's got to come out in April. Well, there's Vilecon. I wonder if that's PatCon. Let's see. It's talking about kids. It must be PatCon or PedCon. Oh God, I can't do this chat thing. This takes too long. It just distracts so much. Yeah, who knows? Interesting discussion about the restraining order. Will it be resolved? Who knows? Who cares? I think Tommy's gone to the Philippines. He didn't get locked up. He managed to get out of the country, which is good luck for him. And I'm pleased for Rochelle that she's finally gotten to go home. I mean, she must have been here for a few years now without getting to see her family, which is pretty difficult. I think in coming to a different country as she did, and putting up with somebody like Tommy and the drama that goes along with him, to be away from her family. Be interesting to see whether she comes back, or whether Tommy gets arrested over there for being, because they're kind of nice, quiet people over in the Philippines. Well, most Asian people are, and very respectful generally. And he's a bit of a brash buffoon, so it'll be interesting to see whether he manages to get himself in some sort of trouble. Yeah. Did the boys get to go with Tommy? I doubt it. I mean, you would think that it's a great opportunity. We travelled quite a lot with the kids, and would never think of going to a new place without inviting the kids along. But I'd suggest Tommy wouldn't have done that. I mean, he just seems a little bit too selfish for that. I'm sure the kids be fine, but I doubt that he would take them along. Doubt that very much. No, g'day, Billy. Yeah, it would have been a good grift, wouldn't it? But it would have been a little bit, out there to. Would have been a little bit out there to start grifting. I mean, it's a good angle, though, isn't it? It's a good angle. Now, let's see how many alts this guy comes back under. Yeah, guys, we're stuck in the Philippines. Donate quick. I'm sure there'll be some of that coming on. Yeah, that's it. It's the perception that he cares about people, isn't it? That's important to him. Who kicks somebody out because they're reading an iPad? I mean, that's a control thing with teenagers. I know it can get frustrating, but you don't fucking lock them out of the bloody house because they're not following your rules. It's funny, these catches and anger management seems to be a little bit of an issue, doesn't it? I think Kevin was up on bloody Mitch's yesterday or the night before. Was it Friday night? And he was yelling so much, as he always does. And it turns out he had his kid there, or at least one of them, the youngest one, was there that woke up and needed feeding. And he seemed to be a little bit quieter after that. But, what an atrocious person that guy is. An atrocious person who occasionally catches. As Damone said last night, I mean, luckily not many people see this corner of the internet, so probably aren't aware of him. Old enough to stay at home, but could you trust them? Don't know, mate. I don't know whether they're staying at home. Might be with granddad, maybe. Who knows? They need some sort of supervision. Yeah, one thing, and I've asked, Tommy Boy Studios seems to have gone under the, he's not answering my DMs, and you know how upsetting that is to me. Just ask Nanya, apparently. But I was looking for, you remember a while ago, it was probably about 6 weeks ago, he was up on NTFs and he replayed the conversation between Ed and Nanya. The conversation that they had after Ed had been in jail. So the first lot of information had dropped that his house had been raided, and he'd gone to jail for the meth charges. And the general understanding, no matter what people say now when they look back and reinvent history, people, and Nanya included, specifically Nanya, because this involves her and the hypocrisy of it all, saying that, oh, well, we all should have known and we should have distanced ourselves more. And the conversations that she had with Ed when Nanya was starting to play the jail calls but couldn't be fucked going through and redacting personal information. And they had a conversation, and I can't remember whether Ed had said something to me, or I had said something to Ed about, why don't you just fucking talk it out? Because Nanya was doing the jail calls, unredacted, which I thought was pretty irresponsible thing to do. And Ed was, I think, Nevermore, well, it was Ed who'd been changing Nevermore's name in one of Ed's panels and started putting out Nanya's name and the name of her mother and so on. And Nanya was responding with Nevermore's family members. And I put them together, or suggested that, why don't you just fucking have a chat with each other and see if you can work something out? Because this is, not a good idea. It's not going anywhere. So they had a conversation. And then Ed replayed that conversation on a panel, and Tommy Boy Studios, as he does, recorded it. And the panel channel apparently recorded it as well, but conveniently doesn't replay it or refer to it when Nanya's going on about how all of these people that were, in with Ed over this period and should have known better and are all Edvidians. Well, Nanya had secretly held exactly the same position that everyone had, is that there wasn't really enough information, that there was doubt. It could have been Ed, if NetMech weren't just stupid, and we assume that their tip was electronic and did come from a reliable place, that somebody within that household potentially had some CP, but whether it was Ed, whether it was Ed's brother, whether it was somebody else that had access to the Wi-Fi that stayed there was a number of possibilities. And there are some people that did draw a line in the sand and didn't want to have anything to do with him. Even at that point, but Nanya wasn't one of those people. And she made that quite clear in the conversation that she had with Ed. And now she conveniently forgets about that. And TBS played that recording on an NTF panel about 6 weeks ago, and it seems to have sort of slipped by. And I pointed it out a couple of times, and she said, "Oh, prove it," and challenged me to say, "Okay, show it again." So I'm going to do that. It's not a very good recording, unfortunately. I'm playing it straight back from NTFs, and there's a number of people up on panel, and it gets a little bit hard to follow because you've got the recording is at 1.5 speed, so it's Nanya and Ed talking pretty quickly, which is kind of hard to follow. And then you've got panel members that are interjecting and talking at the same time, which gets a bit awkward. A little bit awkward it's a little bit hard to follow. So I'll sort of do some recapping and play it back a bit. So here we go. This is Nanya's, NTF's panel. Sorry, I'm not, fuck it, I lost it. NTF's panel, not sure, it was a month ago, it's got here. I'll see if I can see who's up there. You got, I think FCC's up there. Bobby Joe's up there. Tommy Boy's up there. I think fucking the good guy's up there for some bizarre reason. Junie's up there, of course. So it was just quite an interesting conversation. Do any of you remember this recording and what was said? One's in chat, maybe. You just need to remember this when this person is talking about people being Edvidians. And And then you've got the likes of, okay, Mitch. I mean, Mitch is, he's just stirring shit up, which is what he does. And the same with the panel channel. They just conveniently forget that these two had, or that this was Nunya's perspective of Ed. And I'll sort of paraphrase a bit, but what she was basically suggesting was that anybody, with the work that Ed did for the community, somebody could have planted something on his computer, that she hoped that he was innocent, and that she'd supported him, and that she spoke positively about him while he was in jail, but he probably hadn't heard that. And they back and forth quite a lot, and then had a 50-minute phone call, and we're exchanging pictures of families and so on. But now, of course, she didn't have anything to do with him. It was all the nasty people over at this place that were Edvidians, people that actually appeared on his panel and, questioned him about stuff or used his panel as a platform, often because they don't have their own places. Sorry, whose panel? It was NTF's panel. Was that Sabby on Locke's account? I doubt it's Locke in here. So here we go.
Getting docked.
Yeah.
She was the one doxing.
Don't worry, we'll get there, Grim Dog.
See how bad it affects me, because I'm battling with myself to do this or not to do this, because I don't want to be a bad person. I have no problem with you, Ed. I wish to God you would clear your name with the CP.
I have no problem with you, Ed. I wish to God you would clear your name with the CP.
Suspect shit, so we can be done with it. Because even I've said from the jump, hell, maybe it wasn't even Ed, because if he was in the pred catching community, maybe it was.
Okay. It's a bit fast, isn't it? I can only slow it down to like 0.25, and then it's way too slow.
Thing that you clicked on and it got put in his computer and he didn't even fucking know. I stuck up for you. And maybe
To have a peace treaty with Ed, so all of us would stop getting docked.
I'm battling with myself to do this or not to do this, because I don't want to be a bad person. I have no problem with you, Ed. I wish to God you would clear your name with the CP suspect shit, so we can be done with it. Because even I've said from the jump, hell, maybe it was.
Even I've said from the jump, hell, maybe it wasn't.
Even Ed, because if he was in the pred catching.
It wasn't even Ed. Hell, maybe I've said from the jump, maybe it wasn't even Ed, because he's in the pred catching community.
Maybe it was something that you clicked on and it got put in his computer and he didn't even fucking know. I stuck.
Maybe it was something that he clicked on and it got put in his computer.
And maybe you didn't hear it.
Sorry.
Clear your name with the CP suspect shit, so we can be done with it. Because even I've said from the jump, hell, maybe it wasn't even Ed, because if he was in the pred catching community, maybe it was something that you clicked on and it got put in his computer and he didn't even fucking know. I stuck up for you, and maybe you didn't hear it.
No.
I've stuck up for you, and maybe you didn't hear it. No, she didn't say any of that publicly, but she said it to Ed. And this is, she was saying this behind the scenes. I'm not sure. Maybe she did say it publicly. But now the thing is that she's reinvented her stance. When she looks back with the rose-colored glasses on history, she was completely against him all the way, as much as Ryan was, which is just shows, I guess, the character.
Clear your name with the CP suspect shit, so we can be done with it. Because even I've said from the jump, hell, maybe it wasn't even Ed, because if he was in the pred catching community, maybe it was something that you clicked on and it got put in his computer and he didn't even fucking know. I stuck up for you, and maybe you didn't hear it.
Now, here's a big point, guys. It took me a while after reading this. Listen to what she's about to say here, right? So she just said that she's like, I hope you do clear your name with this shit. I want you to listen to what she says right here. Put your listening caps on, the little clip that she plays. Put your listening caps on and listen to this.
Were in jail and you were dealing with other shit. So nobody's gonna.
I gotta.
And maybe you didn't hear it because you were in jail and you were dealing with other shit. So nobody's gonna show you that, right? But I've even said maybe somebody should let Ed know that. That way, maybe they can look into that. Maybe it's not even him. You know what I mean? Just clear it. I have no problem.
I was sticking up for you while you were in jail.
For you. And maybe you didn't hear it.
Listen.
Hell, maybe it wasn't even Ed, because if he was in the pred catching community, maybe it was something that you clicked on and it got put in his computer and he didn't even fucking know. I stuck up for you, and maybe you didn't hear it because you were in jail and you were dealing with other.
Wow. Wow. You hear that? Wow. Okay. I did say that for you while you were in jail. Okay, right? So
I'll just let this play and let Tommy Boy and the panel talk it through. But it's fucking interesting.
that leads to question, like was she just assuming he was in jail? No.
The first paperwork dropped.
Yes, this is exactly. This is what after Ed went to jail for the fucking
Right, and how dare any of us wait for the actual rest of it? You know, like how dare us? But she's in the DMs with him. Like I didn't even know about this. I've never heard this. I never heard it either. And she
This
said
is how separated I really was.
Well, she said she talked to all of us behind the scenes, and we all fucking came up with that she should make this peace treaty with fucking Ed. I never heard nothing fucking about it.
And I believe that she is a master fucking manipulator.
There's more.
That's probably things I need to think that way. If I got a JD like, yo, JD, I think it's going to have to add. He'd be like,
The fucking good guy. I'm fucking glad he's kicked again. Everybody's seen him for what he's worth.
fucking smoking crack.
All right.
So nobody's gonna show you that, right? But I've even said maybe somebody should let Ed know that. That way maybe they can look into that. Maybe it's not even him. You know what I mean? Just clear it and be done. I have no problem. You was always chilling me every time I've fucking been over there around y'all's panels. I've never had an issue with you. I don't want to have issues with anybody. And I gave Cam Steven's name, good guy, a while back ago. So why he didn't give it to you?
She gave Cam Stevens' name, the good guy's name. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So she docks the good guy to Cam.
I don't know.
And I'm not going to say that you had no problems with anything. I don't agree with that. Just a couple weeks ago, or whatever, you said I was the worst person in the community.
Yeah.
And that if anybody left the community, it should be even worse than John Davis, and even worse than the good guy. And you also said that I was a predator, and you called me a predator multiple times. So I'm not going to say that that's you. I've never had a problem with me. I don't think that's an accurate statement to make. But that being said,
The homeboy called her out, you know.
you know, try to work this out because I never really had an issue with you either. I was just hearing a lot of people were saying stuff like, you know, that you were just getting involved in drama and bullshit in the community. And I was in jail at the time, like I said before. So all I had was, you know, to give people at their word or whatever, you know.
He was in jail before. Just remember, we'll keep going.
So
Like I said, I privated those videos, and the next thing I know is Warbot goes and makes a fucking video talking about, yeah, why did private the videos? It wasn't for him. It had nothing to do with him. It had everything to do with you and me, my own feelings. I'm not a piece of shit.
I didn't speed this up. If you guys see on the voice, it said 1.5 minutes. This is from
No, see, yeah. It sounds like 1.5.
And put this out on the so there's a certain somebody that knows that I discussed this with in DMs that then started alluding to the fact that like Ed sent this to me privately as if I was working with Ed. However, that person and I discussed this stream and that we both had it recorded. However, now the narrative has changed that TBS must have reached out to Ed to get this. Kind of a slimy thing to do. You know who you are. I'm gonna.
Jump. He says later on who it was because that person comes into chat, but it's the panel channel. The panel channel recorded this Ed and Nunya conversation like Tommy Boy did, but then the panel channel in chats was implying that Tommy Boy's got this recording. He must have got it directly from Ed to try and smear Tommy Boy, which was you think the panel channel supposedly independent and of good character, seems to be quite manipulative as well, which is a little bit surprising, but yeah, dirty fucking thing to do. And you notice the panel channel would never fucking reveal this at the moment because playing along with the game with Mitch and as being in Nunya's side, just trying to poke shit at people that really held exactly the same views that Nunya is expressing here, that there wasn't enough information to make a call on Ed at that point in time. But yeah, interesting. Like I said, it was a good panel, and I think it hasn't been given the focus that it needed, because it just makes anything, any claims that Nunya makes about other people being Edvidians, right from the jump, and taking the stance that someone like Ryan did, I mean, Ryan made that one is just fucking ridiculous. If you're going to take any sort of fucking view on, the burden of proof and so on, particularly, I mean, if you're looking at it in a living space where you've got two people, one of them, brothers, okay, you got to say who's seems to be a weirdo. It wasn't until later on that it became fucking evident that it was information on that came from his device in the actual evidence, that you could pin it to him specifically, or if indeed there was any fucking material, or whether it was just, pictures of his kids that had got flagged in an automatic neck thing. None of us knew that. And Nunya held that same viewpoint clearly from this. But now all of a sudden, she doesn't remember it that way. And I'd like someone like Mitch to, maybe press her a little bit on this.
In DMs that then started alluding to the fact that, like, Ed sent this to me privately as if I was working with Ed. However, that person and I discussed this stream and that we both had it recorded. However, now the narrative has changed that TBS must have reached out to Ed to get this. Kind of a slimy thing to do. You know who you are. I'm leaving it at that.
And I know that. So you see where I'm coming from on that? Like, people can think what they want to think and think they know what it is, but they don't know shit, I did it for myself. And for you to be able to see that I can hold to my word and to show you in good faith, right? That's what I thought. Yeah, I did say that because to me, my definitions of that stuff is like, okay, Bobby came up on your panel, talks to me, which nobody else knew my name, right? Talks to me, and then turn around and that even said in your panel that he was going to give that info to JD and them. He said it himself. So for me to think that, and then look what they did. They went and sexualized me all the time, everybody like that. So you facilitated that part of it. I can understand why, but you will have to understand also why I said those things. Like I said, I have no problems with you at all. I don't know you. I only know that you were a CP suspect or something. I don't even know all of the story. And like I told you up there in those other messages, first thing that came to mind was, well, if he's in the predator catching community, how do we not know that it wasn't something that was sent to him and he clicked on it on an accident? It maybe it embedded that into his computer. It might not have been you. That's it. Other than that, I don't know.
So she's suggesting that it might have been embedded in his computer. It might not have been you.
In the predator catching community, how do we not know that it wasn't something that was sent to him and he clicked on it on an accident? It maybe it embedded that into his computer. It might not have been you. That's it. Other than that, I don't know shit about your cases. It's not my concern. I told you on your panel what I thought. If you are connected to a CP case, yes, I think you should stay away. Right or wrong?
Positive.
And you stated that was right. So you're in agreement.
No, hold on. No, because all I'm saying is that when she's using against this,
well, I called this bitch out. I'm just saying.
She's saying, of course I wouldn't want him to be a chomo, right? Of course I wouldn't be one. That's not the point, Nunya. You're going around saying everyone else is at Vidians when you're having full-on DMs with this dude after he already went to jail, after that paperwork came out.
I can say this honestly. I never had that much DMs with Edward. It was literally like if I dropped a link once in a while. But she's giving him ideas to get out of a fucking CP case.
Yeah, good point, Bobby Joe. She's giving him ideas on how to, find excuses for it.
Just like she did.
Just keep going, because there's a couple people like Dr. Jeff and fucking what's it called that was.
Oh, look, the panel Karen's here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're the one. You are exactly the one who was alluding to the fact that I talked to get this when you and I both discussed this in the background, this fucking stream, and having it recorded. So yeah, I found it really weird. I could probably go find a screenshot channel of you saying in chat, TBS, did you reach out to Ed or something like that to find out if they had a phone call, even though you and I talked about the end of this video, which I will show.
I do not know you. I have no problem. But as I was saying, you have to understand, in those moments when that stuff's happening, I can only respond to what I see and know. So I can't take that back. I don't think you're a chomo. I don't know I don't know what you are. I don't know. I would hope that you're a good person and got caught in some bullshit, maybe. That's what I'd hope. But I'm not a judge or jury. You know what I mean? I'm me. And I can't really.
I mean, that's exactly what we all thought. Well, most apart from fucking, I saw Angela's in chat. Angela, mate, you were fucking way over the top, fucking defending him without knowing what was going on. So I think I don't include you when I speak for I think the rest of us. I think we held this same view that Nunya's expressing here.
I do not know you. I have no problem. But as I was saying, you have to understand, in those moments when that stuff's happening, I can only respond to what I see and know. So I can't take that back. I don't think you're a chomo. I don't know what you are. I don't know. I would hope that you're a good person and got caught in some bullshit, maybe. That's what I'd hope. But I'm not a judge or jury. You know what I mean? I'm me. And I can't believe they stated that was right. So we were in agreement. But as I was saying, yeah, it's friends, but we don't have to be enemies at the same time. You know? Just like you told Kat the other day. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And when Bobby done that to me, that was wrong. Because that done nothing but give everyone over there on the JD side, which you and I both agree, are the scummiest of the fucking earth. It gave them every piece of info they needed that they never had or would.
What was it weird dropping something?
Sorry. Yeah, Matt, that's exactly it. That's what we were all saying until that second lot of evidence came out. There was doubt, considerable doubt, and people were still a bit, fucking, I don't like this. I didn't see, I mean, apart from a few people that, depending on the sorts of relationships that they had with the guy already, it's just the hypocrisy of this woman. It's like looking back and positioning herself as someone who distanced herself from Ed right from the start, or, held a different viewpoint is just fucking ridiculous. And it goes to show something else here. Obviously, Mitch and the panel channel work very closely together, and neither of them are prepared to float this information and use it because it's uncomfortable for the story. Of Nunya trying to position everyone as her enemies, as Edvidians, to try and position herself as the righteous and also the victim, so that she can extract money from her, money and sympathy from her supporters. It's just kind of a weak game.
Did he drop something from a year ago, right? Channel when all that's being talked about is like, listen, even you were covering the stream the other day about how I was on Ed's panels for worse, but no one's been able to show me I'm chumming up.
Community remix. I wouldn't be surprised if Nunya is still in Ed's DMs after listening to this. Seems pretty clear.
For hours. I'm showing Nunya chumming up with Ed for hours, and we haven't even got to the good part yet. That's why
we haven't even covered Nunya and Warbot yet.
Hold on. Just hold on.
I don't even know how Bobby was able to find my name. So where did he get it? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of questions there, and I'm sure you can understand.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that. So somebody who's connected to a CP case or a suspect in a CP case should stay away from the community, which I believe I have done. I mean, there's a big difference in what I used to do and what I do now. Like before, I would help most of the catchers. I would pull backgrounds. I would identify the predators. I would all that shit. I haven't done any of that since this came out. I did those couple catches in Florida, and I mean, I was done with this, so to speak.
I'll just allow this little distraction here for this kind of bullshit which is going on. Why working so hard to still clear FCC, Christie, and people who still support Ed and them? They don't support them. I don't know about Angela, but, the others, nobody fucking supporting Ed. I don't hear anyone talking about Ed. The only one that talks about Ed and supports Ed and the Ed legacy are people like yourself and people over in Nunya's side, who have to keep floating it to keep an enemy out there and to make themselves fucking different somehow. Otherwise, they've got nothing. It's a disingenuous game that people like yourself are playing. And I don't know. I'm just sort of getting tired of it now. I think it needs to move on. And this kind of bullshit sort of exposes it.
In that capacity at that time. And I don't want to work in this community at that capacity again. So, I mean, that's.
And I'll tell you what. Not only did I not have DMs with that, I never fucking hearted a fucking DM from Ed.
My way of saying, like, you know, I don't believe there's anything wrong with, you know, being a spectator in the community, you know, running a panel, and I can't help people in the community come to my panels. Then who am I to shoot them away because they're part of that, you know, part of the catcher community? You know what I mean? So my version stays.
That is another part.
That's what I was doing. I don't associate with any catchers, and I don't identify any predators for any decoys. And I haven't since April.
Can you
So.
pause it for 1 second?
I
No,
we're all like spiral. I just said this. We are fucking adults. We should act like adults.
Hard, so I gotta
And
say something.
It just, you got to think after people being pushed and pushed and pushed, and I understand.
What?
She
Well,
has
we all got to go.
defined that she hearts every thing on IG to show people again that she read it. There is not one motherfucking heart on our Instagram. Not one. She's a fucking liar.
No, but all this shit with these jobs, I didn't expect my name to come.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so you guys want to have that Ivan was saying like this was super old? No, this was post jailhouse calls, right? Listen to her.
It's been pushed and pushed, and I understand you didn't know, but all this shit with these jobs, I didn't expect my name to come out so much because I don't know you guys, and I was confused as to why all these people are talking about me that I don't know, and I've never even had a chance to say hi to or speak with. They don't even know.
Okay, so like this is not that long ago. It's not that long ago.
Why is she riding for Mitch? Right?
Know what their voices, who they are, you know? It's like it's weird. So after so many times being pushed and pushed and pushed and doxed, maybe prior to you being out, I had my limit, and my husband definitely had his limit. You know what I mean? So you understand where I'm coming from with that, and I just don't understand why he done it in the first place because he did do it first, and I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Bro.
I'm really concerned about the jail calls and the beef between Ed and her fucking doxing each other. I'm more interested in the fact that she's supporting this guy and the belief that it hasn't been demonstrated that he's guilty of any crime. There is obviously the suspicion there, but she's taken what's probably most of us have seen as quite a reasonable stance until that evidence comes in that second drop that there were other possibilities. Even though it was dirty and there was obviously something that was going on that required an explanation. Her herself came up with a number of scenarios where it could have been planted on his phone. He could have clicked on something in just doing the work that he was doing supposedly for pred catchers. She, like the rest, I think, chose to give him the benefit of the doubt and wanted to believe that he wasn't fucking, guilty of something as fucking heinous as that. It's a pretty fucking confronting thing. So in that sense, she was no different than the vast majority of us that she's now accusing of being fucking Advidians. And, I guess, just pushing it back at, a lot of the likes of Mitch and the panel channel that are now just using this as a game for their own entertainment. And I think that's something that we need to keep in mind rather than taking them seriously or getting offended when, someone like Mitch or the panel channel points something out that, somebody over, on this side has somehow acted in a bad way. Is just to remember that, they're just fucking around. They don't believe it themselves. And even this person who they're supposedly supporting now is fucking more obviously has expressed this view, and it's recorded here, which is quite embarrassing for her, I think. It would be nice to have had the original recording of this and to have slowed it down. But anyway, this is what we got.
Like, everyone is an Ed supporter. No one here's an Ed supporter.
No. Hold on. This is mine and hers thing. Listen, to act like I was a fucking Ed supporter is fucking wild. You don't find any.
This is Tommy Boy's going at the panel channel now, because the panel channel been implying that Tommy Boy's an Ed supporter because he had this recording, so he must have got it from Ed when the panel channel knew that he'd recorded it from an Ed stream, as did the panel channel record it from an Ed stream. But the panel channel, even having this conversation with fucking Tommy Boy in chat in NTFs, hasn't bothered to bring this up or fucking comment on it.
No. Hold on. This is mine and hers thing. Listen, to act like I was a fucking Ed supporter is fucking wild. You don't find any shit like this from me, panel channel. Do you? Yes, Ivan. This was after the jailhouse call for being played.
Boost the lady.
The panel channel says NTF boo. Okay, that's all
Maybe
it
the
sounds like.
panel channel should go boof some fucking.
Listen, all I'm saying, panel channel, I'm speaking for myself, right? Because she's put me in that category. It's like,
We need to verify this through a panel channel.
Hang out.
I just want peace and to be left alone, you know?
Oh yeah.
This shit. We can create fake drama if people want to and go ahead about that. It's less stressful, but this fucking, all this shit is just tiresome.
She wanted peace and to be left alone then as well.
Old and it's, our kids are going to see this shit when they get older. You know what I mean? Like, it's sick.
Goddamn right they will.
And also, I know
but so this is where it gets funny. This is where it gets funny is that
I don't want my kids knowing I'm a whore.
Yes, and this is where panel channel. I know you were doing that. You know what you were doing. So I bring up that like when I got up on the panel with Nunya that time, I was like, Nunya, what did you talk to Ed for 45 minutes for? Right? What did you talk to him for an hour long? And TPC says, yeah. Did Ed send you the call? Like, how did you know Ed had the call?
Wow.
Hold on one second, man. That's okay. Hold on. Let me come out.
You
know right now, right?
Panel channel. I commented on it again in that stream. My understanding of TBS sharing something that was 18 months old was that he had new evidence, not the text messages, the phone calls, just asking if he got from Ed. Okay, here's my question to you, panel channel. Why the fuck haven't you brought this up and pressed Nunya about it? Why are you so happy to go over there and accuse other people of being Edvidians and for holding exactly the same fucking view that Nunya holds or held at that time? Evidently, that's why this is fucking interesting, because she's now accusing people that held exactly the same view that she did of being Edvidians. And you and your fucking little pal Mitch are fucking lapping it up and enabling it. Why is that? Just for your own entertainment? Or you're here to be for like are you in the best interests of the community? Or you're just stirring up shit? That's all. Well, it's fine if you're just stirring up shit. Let's expose that you're just stirring up shit like Mitch, and then we can deal with it and fucking ignore you. That's what I'm trying to achieve here.
Hold on. Let me come out. You know right now, right? FCC, dox yourself.
everybody mute.
So what I'm saying is that like, what would that call? You know what I mean? At TBC, I think you and I.
I'll have to come. Hang on. I'll have to come back and listen. Didn't know you were talking about me today. I'm just talking about, well, I'm talking about you and Mitch in general, I guess, and Nunya, and this myth that Nunya was somehow didn't believe in Ed. Or more the perspective that she's accusing everybody of being Edvidians for holding the view that maybe the guy was innocent. Maybe there were circumstances. And you've had this fucking conversation. You knew that her view was exactly the same as the majority of people that are in this chat. That was that there was no fucking evidence. Okay, there was suspicion, but there were other possibilities. And though we sort of distanced ourselves from him, we didn't think that he was guilty because we didn't fucking know until that stuff that you revealed that showed that he did have stuff on his devices. And then we all fucking dropped in like a fucking hot potato. And you're fucking enabling her bullshit. And you haven't pressed her, you and your little buddy Mitch, like you press anybody else. And the only person that I still see in this chat, which I fucking have doubt over her, is Angela. I mean, she still hangs around with Dowd, which is fucking odd to me. Whether she's associated with fucking Ed or not anymore, who fucking knows? But, you know, I'm just pointing out that you lack credibility, the panel channel. And if you're fucking teaming and playing the same game as Mitch, okay, great, good for you. Well, why don't you fucking put out this? Why don't you slow this down and edit out the bit where Nunya makes very clear what her view is on the situation? But you don't do that. You hang around in her channel and all fucking pally while they're slamming people on the other side for being Nvidians, which is just kind of, I don't know. You work it out for yourself, what that says about you.
Talked about, like, I wonder what on earth would they have talked about for 45 minutes after having this discussion, right? And we know it's 45 minutes. And what I just skipped through, the reason I showed this, if you look back, you see how there's a skip here?
And all
This is where she's sending all of your
old
family photos and shit.
Our kids are gonna see this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's sick, really.
So I had to skip a bunch of shit.
And also, I know that you can't control other people saying my name.
Yeah,
I don't
more.
and I'll say this is.
But I zoom in here.
I don't want.
Exchanging family photos. They've got an hour or 50-minute phone call between the two after all of these voice chats that they're hearting each other. So obviously, you know, she's pretty clean with it.
Watch.
Deleting.
I mean, can we just hit the call button? It's ridiculous, you know. If you don't want to do that, but I mean, it's like we're on the phone anyway, right?
I mean, obviously she was buying CDs, right? I mean,
And the audio call ends. The audio call ends at 8:05. Okay, start to
was not buying CDs.
and it ends at 8:05. Right?
Don't
So,
do
like,
that.
there's a fucking hour-long call, and then they're chugging it up. Look at, they're just chatting it up over here, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a comment here. So I'm playing this on my phone, and I'll share this. I'll share the screen, Ryan. But it says, "Ha ha ha! Sam and them trying to drag me on bills where I'm blocked. Lol. But yeah, see, we was trying to fix shit, and these motherfuckers trying to drag. Lol. That's Nunya to Ed. Okay, after he's been in fucking jail, you know, just fucking bullshit." And then, yeah, they're chatting away.
It ends at 8:05. Right?
Don't
So,
do
like,
that.
there's a fucking hour-long call, and then they're chugging it up. Look at, they're just chatting it up over here, right? They're
Yeah, remix. That's, oh, sorry, I meant this one. That's exactly the thing. Yeah. Don't let up. That's it. You know, because we've got to keep exposing these people, don't we, Remix? We have to keep exposing them that they trusted someone who turned out to be a CP possessor, a pedophile. I think that's Mitch's words, isn't it? That's why he keeps bringing up Ed all the time, is because we can't forget that all of these people, Nunya included, believed in this guy. Oh, has somebody gone live? Seems we're losing a few people.
already made the truce all the way back here. It was already decided upon. They're hard messages. Why get on an hour-long phone call?
This is really shocking.
Oh, why get on an hour-long phone call?
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, I think that's probably enough to make a point. Yeah, very interesting, I think. Anyway, Nunya, I brought that up on Mitch's a couple of times, and Nunya has challenged me to bring that up and to show it. Just hang on a tick. Just getting hundreds of messages. Chat amongst yourselves if you can, protect damn kids. Don't you hate that? Yes, yes, yes. So there you go. Mitch, be interesting to see whether you're prepared to take that up and press Nunya on her relationship with Ed. Now we've got something that we can stream back again, because I think NTF took that down. So now you can refer to this little section, Mitch. I'll leave this obviously up in public so people can listen to it. Kind of interesting. Oh, look, we got little Ryan in chat. How's that fight planning going, Ryan? What's your comments on that, Ryan? I don't know whether you had a chance to listen to Nunya talking then about how she thought that she hoped that Ed was innocent and that she supported him when he was in jail. Don't know whether he'd heard her supporting him. And that she was saying that, he could have clicked on something, or someone could have planted something on his computer, and she didn't have a problem with him. What do you think about that, Ryan? Seems that your little buddy Nunya held exactly the same views as the rest of us. Why would you not hope Ed is innocent? Yeah, exactly. But Nunya didn't think that. Nunya was offering explanations just like the rest of us were. There was doubt. So we're all Edvidians for holding that view, but Nunya isn't an Edvidian for holding that view, Ryan? Is that how it works? Anyway, I don't expect very much from Ryan. He's kind of a little bit of a fucking lost cause, I think. He can't see logic. Turned a bit violent lately as well. It's like picking fights with other community members. Kind of a bad look for a pred catcher, I would have thought, but who are we to judge the high and mighty? Yeah, imagine having private combos with Ed. 50-minute phone conversations, exchanging family photos. Kind of odd, Ryan. Don't know whether any of us have done that. Non-violent. Yeah, exactly, Constantine. So much for that, Ryan. You're going to have to change your name now to Violent Citizens Against Preds. What's this fucking idiot going on about? I say Ed didn't even have CP. I don't believe the AG report either, and I'll soon go live and groom people towards the normalisation agenda, like my friend FCC. Yeah, okay. Not sure what you mean there, mate. No, they just had jail calls and simped for him for 2 years. And funnily enough, Nunya was secretly simping behind the scenes. Seems like Nunya would have rung him in jail if she had his number. She didn't think he was. This was after that, Ryan. This was after the jail calls, though, Ryan. This was after he'd been in jail, and she still thought that he was fucking, hoped he was innocent, and thought that there was probably some other explanation, and she never had a problem with him, and that she spoke up for him when he was in jail. But that doesn't matter, does it, Ryan? And she didn't bother to redact the phone calls. That's kind of, irresponsible, don't you think? Just because somebody called her ghetto in a fucking private, in a phone call to him. Wow, funny how the numbers jump up now. So like, Ryan's back, all the fucking lurkers. Come and watch Ryan press. Come on, Ryan. What you got, mate? Do you want to go back through that, Ryan? No, I'm not going to go back from that. I have trouble believing anyone on this side who would need the whole story. So what do you think about her comments, though, Ryan? What do you think about her saying that? Then come up if you like. Actually, I'm still blocked in your chat too, Ryan, which is a little bit disappointing. Understandable, maybe, but you get that. I'll never forget what she did, and she did it to people that did nothing to her. Yeah, Angela, mate, you're not in a very friendly place over here, to be honest, still. Damn it, lost it. What side is this? This side, Jay Silly. Mate, I don't know. I'm just trying to unravel things. I'm just trying to work out who's where and who's bullshitting and who's not. And I guess just commenting on the environment, just trying to unravel the community and see it from well, obviously, it's fun to be here and spend time and have a bit of a laugh and stuff, but just sift through it, see who's honest and who's not. I don't know. It's just like a bit of an addiction hobby sort of thing, really. Yeah, right. I have no reason to take any of you seriously. This is the guy. This is the fucker. This is the fucker that can't open a gate or change a tire. Who brings up subjects about virtuous pedophiles. And he thinks he can't take any of us seriously. The guy who falls off a chair wants to have a fight with another community member. Don't know. You're an odd little man. I'll call you a man now because you're fucking old enough to be one. Ryan's side is called the 288A lovers. I'm not quite sure what that means. So how's the catching going, Ryan? How are those? Okay, Telly, I felt I could chime in here. Yeah, well, you're welcome to chime in, being that I've been dragged for a year and these other people get away with it, but I will leave now. Yeah, okay. I don't know, Angela. I just find you a bit odd with the associations. And, it's like this thing about, you don't tell me where I can hang out and where I can't hang out. It's like, no, I can't, but I can judge you on where you fucking hang out and who you hang out with. We all do that. I mean, let's not pretend that we don't do it. We all fucking look at who other people are friends with, and it's like, okay, there's the one person which is particularly fucking odd that you hang out with, and his name is fucking Daniel Down. And that's fucking weird. Without going into the way that you stood up for Ed in a way that was basically you were inventing stuff because you believed in him so much. You were just telling fucking bullshit, talking bullshit, fucking defending him. And it's like, I just, it's the way I see it. I see people that hang around with people like him, and I think, well, there's something odd with you because you tolerate somebody like that as a friend and an associate. So, it makes me question you and your judgment in some way, knowing what he's fucking like. So you fucking, you bring it on yourself. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. I don't know, just that's odd to me. I mean, don't we all fucking look at other people and who they hang out with? Somebody who's, I mean, if let's say somebody that was hanging out with Ed now, knowing what we know, I would view anyone that did that as fucking not a good person. It echoes. I mean, it's like we look at Savvy, the way that Savvy popped up in fucking Ed's chat that time, as if nothing had happened, just using it as an avenue to be social with somebody that she hadn't had a chat with for a while, completely oblivious to the fact that she was doing it in a fucking guy's channel who had CP. That wasn't the problem. She didn't have a problem with that. She didn't ask Ed anything about that. She wasn't critical of him at all. She was just talking to her friend in chat. And, and now she gets a pass for that. She's as sus as fuck. And she's over there accepted by Nunya and Mitch and the panel channel. And all the people that are in fucking chat over there where she can sell her jewelry and stuff as if nothing's happened. Yeah, fucking weird. Meanwhile, you have catchers in your community. I might have missed the comment that you made. Meanwhile, you have catchers in your community with pedophiles. Catchers in your community with pedophiles. Go figure, but yeah, keep talking about me. Angela, the only reason I'm talking about you is because you're here. Have a good day, everyone. Keep talking about Angela when you have pedophiles in your community. Who's the pedophile? Point them out. Ed's a pedophile, but he's not in this fucking community. You're going to start judging Okay, I'm going to start judging everywhere you all go from now on. How about that? You mean you don't judge people, Angela? Are you serious? You don't look at who people associate with? Yeah, I don't know, Angela. I think you're fucking deluding yourself if you believe that. You believe that position. Yeah, you have a good one too, Angela. All this cope about people that were right about Ed. Who was right about Ed? Because Nunya certainly wasn't. You happen to pick it because you've got bad judgment and don't follow the principles of law, and there was doubt and you had an opinion, and this time you happen to be right. Like the times that you've shown your judgment before when you got that thing about locks in lock server about, CP, and completely got that fucking wrong. Flip a coin, Ryan. You're going to be right 50% of the time. And this was one that you just happened to be right on. I don't think it was through any brilliant thinking on your part or good judgment. It was a yes or no situation, and you happened to be right. But your judgment and your processes are still fucking ordinary as fuck. Yeah, I don't think does anybody take Ryan seriously these days? I don't know if anybody ever did, but I don't think anybody has. I think that's always been a struggle for Ryan. And it doesn't seem to be getting any better for him. Oop. Excuse me. Let's go back to where that was.
Myself to do this or not to do this because I don't want to be a bad person. I have no problem with you, Ed. I wish to God you would clear your name of the CP suspect shit so we can be done with it. Because even I've said from the jump, hell, maybe it wasn't even Ed, because if he was in the prey catching community, maybe it was something that he clicked on and it got put in his computer and he didn't even fucking know. I stuck up for you, and maybe you didn't hear it either.
I stuck up for you. Maybe it was something that someone had put on your computer. Ryan? How about that for being right? But hell, let's not get bogged down on this. I've made my point. I'm not going to labor it. What are we doing? 1 hour and 23 minutes. I think that's about it. Unless somebody wants to come up and have a little bit of a chat. I just wanted to make that point. I think that's about it. The stream's been pretty odd. I need to listen to the beginning of FCCs from last night. That sounded like it might have been a bit of fun. Otherwise, it's been a bit lame. I think Mitch's is just getting fucking ordinary. I mean, 7 and 8 hours. It wasn't streams of just repeating the same shit. I think it's 2 weeks in a row he's been on the same theme at like 7 hours of bloody pop. Kind of fun to go up for about 10 minutes and stir the shit up a little bit, get chat fucking hating, but yeah, all a little bit boring. And this wasn't a thrilling one either. Kind of not feeling it today. Oh, I got Blazing Scar. Oh, mate, Blazing Scar. I see the good guy's fucking revealed himself to be the cunt that he always was. There's a surprise. As soon as NTF takes his wrench and kicks him out, he cracks a sad, and there's retaliation starts happening again. I don't know why he's all of a sudden brought this up about NTF calling his dad, which for the record, I don't agree with. I understand why she did it, because of the shit that he was doing. And I guess the responses become a little bit limited, don't they? It's like, what do you do when someone starts putting up websites about you and posting about your child that was unfortunately passed away, and using that as a tool to taunt somebody, just to fucking hurt them for whatever reason, just for your own fucking enjoyment? I think that's a cruel thing, and to expect that there's not going to be any sort of retaliation from that person. And what does that person do to you? How are they going to impact you? Make a website about your family or something? I mean, who's got the bloody time for that? Odd that the good guy has the resources and the time for that, or the contacts that are prepared to do that on his behalf. And again, it's like coming back to this thing about the company you keep. It's like, look at who the fucker hangs out with. The likes of John Davis. Is you got to say, okay, if you're hanging out with a fuckwit like him, I've got to question your judgment as well. Not the kind of person that I'd want to be associated with. So I'll distance myself from you also, because there's something in you that I don't fucking understand that thinks that it's okay to associate with somebody like JD. So funny how the website popped up as soon as the good guy has a fight again. So he would be a good person to leave the community, but again, it's not something that I'd get involved with. I wouldn't contact his family, but I can understand why she did. There's probably more effective things she could have done. Don't know what his dad was going to do, but there you have it. But he didn't have a problem with it. Hasn't had a problem with it. Knew about it since January. Now all of a sudden it's a problem, and he's all fucking hurt by it, which is kind of odd. But there you go. But I'm sure there's other people that have got things to say about that. They know the situation far more than I do, and I really don't want to get involved with that fuckwit. He's a manipulator, insurance salesman. There you go. It sort of says enough, doesn't it? Now Damone's woken up. Ray must be punished. Yeah, I was a bit mean last night. I don't know. Poor Ray. Kind of feel for the guy sometimes. And I think Damone was particularly mean to him. Thankfully, FCC's taken that stream down, so other people won't get to see that. Ray's left the community again. In the meantime, I guess we can always we can all jump over and have a look at Cam's restreaming of other people's camper builds. Kind of restreaming, is that the word? Yeah, restreaming. Hopefully he's posting links to the original in the chat. Poor Ray. Yes, poor Ray. Oh, that guy. All right, peeps, I'm fucking dying up here. I've got nothing left. Unless someone wants to come up and hold my hand and inject a little bit of energy into the stream. I think I'm done. What's the time over there now? About what? Lunchtime? 1 o'clock, depending on where you are. What's happening? Oh, actually, I've got to ask, are the massive anti-Trump protests going on? I've been looking through Instagram and getting a few things in my feed, which I'm thinking, this seems like propaganda to me. But is there a bit of an anti-Trump wave happening at the moment? Or is it just nonsense? Stop watching. Yeah, I was just getting grabs of, this huge march in, I think it was New York against Trump. Yeah, you're going to go live again, NTF? Why don't you go live again now? I can go in chat and I can stop trying to be, nice and level and even and balanced in my views and stuff. And I can start throwing shit at people like Blazing Scar. So what do we want to go out with? I think we need to go out with the old one. Okay, people. Appreciate you coming. Look out for each other. And yeah, look at the people who are hanging out with fucking weirdos and judge those people that are hanging out with weirdos. That's the recommendation that I'll certainly make to my kids is look at the company people keep. And if they're keeping company with people that are a fucking dubious character, just keep a watchful eye on those others that associate with them too. That's my Sunday sermon, peeps.